I want to show you something about the BulletUpHell plugin from Darkbeast. It is quite an amazing plugin to make bullet hell patterns. There was one thing I was really struggling with understanding how to actually make it work, and I also did not find it that properly documented in the tutorials and also in the documentation, and it's about how to collide with things. And I just want to show you how this actually works, or what my findings were. So first, maybe I show you this tiny example here of my work in progress project. So here is this mini boss, and this has this bullets from BulletUpHell. So you see lots of bullets, and it's working also with it colliding and stuff. But I had some issues setting this up. So okay. First, if you want to collide something, you have this system with the collide maps and the layers, like this, you know, where you have collision objects and you define the layer and the mask, what to collide. If you need more details on this, please look it up on the Godot tutorials. It's pretty good covered there. But the bullet spawning at BulletUpHell works a little bit different, because the bullets spawned there are not using regular node objects because of a performance optimization, but it uses its own sort of custom collide and movement system, to name it a little bit like this. You have this singleton, the spawning scene here, where you configure most of the things related to that. For example, your shapes and sound effects and like this. And one thing that was really hard for me to understand is you spawn the bullets, you can define animations like this, you know, which animation to play, which sound to play, and so on and so on. But I never found where I actually configure the collide layer or the collide mask, which is, of course, essentially if you make a little bigger complex game. But then I figured out that you configured this in the so-called shared areas. You can define different shared areas, and here you find the missing link. This is what I'm searching for. So where I can just define the layer and the mask, and then just as usual use the collide system from Godot. Pretty much standard. This totally works. You can also define different setups like this. For example, if you have different bullet patterns that you want to collide with different things, where you just define a new area 2D. But this, if you want to use, for example, if I would make another one here and I want to use it, I cannot set it up in the inspector, as far I did not found it. If you want to use a second shared area, you need to define the new bullet spawning by code. There you can set it up, but this is shown in the tutorial from Darkbeast, so you can look it up there. I go to my scene. So this is the first thing here, where I define the bullet patterns. Where do I have it? Here. So here, for example, this is what I talked before. You set up a spawning point, a spawn pattern, a bullet pattern, and there you can define, for example, the animation state. So if you're spawning bullets and you want to have them an own dedicated animation, then you go to animation, set up an animation state, and then here give the name of the texture. This is also covered by tutorials. And this here then ends up in the shape manager, and there you have the in the shape manager, and there you have the animation. And here you can just give the names of the animations and define everything here. This works fine from the inspector. I did not find where you can define shared areas. By default, it's shared area 0. So if you do not need anything special, just go to the shared area and define it here, and then make the collision just like a super standard as Godot does it. I just show it once again. Here you have the build pattern, animation state, and here we give the name for the animation, sound effects, Oh, wait a second. Is it maybe this one with the collision? I have to try it out later. This might be it. I have to try this later. Eventually, I just found it on the podcast. Nice. Okay, so this is method number 1. I go to my player sprite. Where is the script? Here. So this is where I land then on area enter, and this is also works pretty nicely also with my self-written bullets. Just check for the collision layer and then code your game logic inside here. So this is method number 1. Method number 2, because this BulletUpHell manager also handles as just again its own sort of handling collisions, and you can also set up just like a special on area shape enter event, and I tried also a lot with that, and this also works. You get an RID from the collision, you get an area shape index, and this is more just like internal stuff that BulletUpHell uses. The problem is, or this also works, so you can just like detect here also on colliding stuff. But the thing I just wanted to make work is wait a second, where is it now? If you have the bullet pattern here, you have this nice little things like properties, so you can speed, of course, is also handled internally, but especially some parameters just like damage is quite interesting. And you can also add custom data. So and it's also, of course, very practical if you have different bullet patterns with different damage, and then just like listen for these properties and just like hit the player with the bigger damage if the value here is bigger. So directly read this property. And I could not make this work with this sort of setup because I just get information about the colliding itself, but no reference to the bullets. So also with this approach, you see you have the area ID. There are also ways, just like I also tried different approaches here. How to uncomment this? Different approaches here, like for example, oops, sorry. Yeah, just like I seen this also on the bullet manager, just like trying to get a reference from the pool bullet, where in B is the information of the bullet spawning and so on and so on. No matter what, I could not make it work. Here, this body RID cannot find, and this error RID is the RID of the area shape itself, and not a reference to the bullet. I don't know, it's super detailed. So, but this is not working, to tell you, to make it short. At this, I go back to the spawning for a better overview. So, so this area ID is, you get the ID from this, and from there you cannot find the actually bullet property information. But how to make this work? Here you have this custom functions. So again, I go to the BulletUpHell manager, and here you have so this is coming from the plugin, and then you have this bullet collide body. Here you can also get the properties, but if you modify this here and you make an update from the plugin, that your count is getting overwritten again. But the plugin has something called custom bullet collide body, so it's just like a default setup. If you want to customize something there, you go to the custom functions, and it's called like this, you know, and then you end up here, and there also the collisions are detected. And here you see you have this bullet dictionary where the properties are, and we come to this just like in a second. I just show you what's happening if I just like log out everything, because if there's a collision, there's a collide for the body, but there's also a collide for the area, and both can make work to find the properties. If I just start the script now, and this is handled by the spawning singleton. So everything that collides will end up here. So I just started now, and you will just directly see it in the log files, because here I have now spawning, and now everything that collides, also the collisions with the walls and everything, just like end up here. So lots of information. Everything that collides it's ending up here. Yeah, but I want the information only from collisions if the player is hit, not the walls and anything. So how to sort of filter, how to make it work for my player. This works by the body returns a node. You can get the name, and then I just filter if the hit is compatible with my player. So I just like at this I just filter if the collision was made with the player, and if it does, then just give me the property. Okay, so we just started now, and you will instantly see it. So all right, I just stop it, and we look at the log files, and then you see yes, we just can read out the damage property, or if you want more custom properties that we have. Yeah, but the problem is we are here now in the singleton and not at the player, where we eventually want to react on the player on it. Yes, but you can just do it by just like calling a method now on the body. My custom hit method. So just like this is just like a quick example reference implementation. So you can make something like this, and in this way you can also handle just like custom stuff with the properties from the bullet. Seems a little bit quite unusually maybe on the first glance, but I think it's super straightforward, and I would now just like start working with that. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. This cost me a little bit of pains to understand. This is why I made this video. Godot is amazing, BulletUpHell is amazing, community is amazing. Just keep on doing this stuff.